Have you ever felt like someone you care about doesn't care about you back? It can be tough to figure out, but there are signs that can help you understand how they truly feel. In this guide, we'll talk about 11 signs that might show someone isn't as invested in your relationship as you are. Understanding these signs can help you make better decisions about your relationships. Let's dive in. Sign 1. The one-sided conversation. In a good friendship or relationship, both people should talk and listen. But if you find yourself doing all the talking and the other person doesn't seem interested or doesn't share much about themselves, it might mean they don't really care about you. They might not ask about your day or seem curious about your life. If it feels like you're the only one making an effort to keep the conversation going, they might not be as invested in the relationship as you are. Pay attention to how the conversations flow. If it feels like you're doing all the work to keep it going, it might be a sign that they're not invested in the relationship. Sign 2. Emotionally unavailable. If the other person doesn't open up about their emotions or doesn't seem interested in hearing about yours, they might be emotionally unavailable. This means they're not able to connect with you on an emotional level. When you try to share your feelings, they might ignore them or not take them seriously, which can make you feel alone or unimportant. It's like talking to a wall. You're not getting the support or understanding you need. Feeling emotionally distant from someone you care about can be really tough. You might feel like you're missing out on a deeper connection and that your feelings don't matter to them. If this keeps happening, it might be a sign that they're not as invested in the relationship as you are, and it could be worth talking to them about how you're feeling. Sign 3. The disappearing act. In a good friendship or relationship, both people make time for each other and keep in touch. But if you notice that the other person keeps disappearing without explanation, it's like they're playing a disappearing act. They might not respond to your messages or calls for a long time, or they might cancel plans at the last minute without a good reason. This can leave you feeling confused and hurt, wondering why they're not making an effort to be there for you. It's like they're not valuing your time or your feelings. When someone keeps disappearing, it can make you feel like you're not important to them or like they're not interested in being your friend or partner. If this keeps happening, it might be a sign that they're not as committed to the relationship as you are, and it could be worth having a conversation with them about how you feel. Sign 4. The future is unfocused. If the other person avoids talking about the future or makes vague promises, it can feel like the future is unclear, like trying to see through fog. They might not make plans with you or talk about what they envision for your relationship down the road. This uncertainty can leave you feeling anxious and unsure about where the relationship is heading. It's like you're standing still while they're not moving forward with you. When someone avoids talking about the future, it can make you wonder if they're really committed to the relationship or if they're just going along with it without any real plans. If you find yourself in this situation, it might be a good idea to have an open and honest conversation with them about your concerns and what you both want for the future. Sign 5. One-way street. In a healthy relationship, both people give and take equally, like traffic flowing in both directions on a street. But if you feel like you're the only one putting effort into the relationship, it's like you're on a one-way street. You might be the one making plans, initiating conversations, and showing care, while the other person doesn't seem to do the same for you. It can make you feel like you're constantly giving without receiving much in return. This imbalance can lead to feelings of frustration and resentment, as if you're always putting in the work while they're just along for the ride. When a relationship feels like a one-way street, it's important to communicate your feelings with the other person and see if they're willing to make changes to create a more balanced dynamic. If they're not willing to meet you halfway, it might be a sign that the relationship isn't as healthy as it should be. Sign 6. Making excuses. If one person is always making excuses instead of owning up to their behavior, it can be a red flag. They might come up with reasons why they can't spend time with you, why they didn't follow through on their promises, or why they didn't treat you well. These excuses can range from blaming others to justifying their actions, but the common thread is avoiding taking responsibility. It's like they're trying to wriggle out of facing the consequences of their actions. When someone constantly makes excuses, it can erode trust and make you feel like they're not being honest with you. If this pattern continues, it's important to address it and communicate your concerns openly to see if they're willing to change their behavior. Sign 7. No support. If you find that the other person isn't supportive of you, it can feel like you're standing alone. They might not listen to your problems, offer help when you're struggling, or celebrate your achievements with you. It's as if they're not on your team, and you're facing life's challenges so low. This lack of support can leave you feeling abandoned and disconnected from them. In a healthy relationship, both partners should feel like they have someone to lean on during tough times and someone to share their joys with. If you're not getting the support you need, it's important to address this issue with the other person and see if they're willing to make changes to be more supportive of you. Sign 8. Canceling plans. If the other person keeps canceling plans at the last minute, it can be frustrating and hurtful. They might have excuses like feeling tired or suddenly being busy, but it still leaves you feeling disappointed and let down. It's like they're not valuing your time or the effort you put into making plans together. Constantly canceling plans can make you question their commitment to the relationship and whether they really want to spend time with you. If this happens often, it's important to talk to them about how you feel and see if you can find a solution together, like making plans that are easier for them to keep or discussing the importance of honoring commitments. Sign 9. Lack of compromise. If one person consistently refuses to compromise, it can create tension and imbalance in the relationship. They might always insist on having things their way or refuse to consider your perspective, leaving you feeling ignored or unimportant. It's like they're not willing to make any concessions for the sake of the relationship. This lack of compromise can lead to resentment and frustration, as it feels like you're the only one making efforts to maintain harmony. In a good relationship, both partners should be willing to listen to each other's needs and find solutions that work for both of them. If you're experiencing a lack of compromise, it's important to communicate your feelings with the other person and see if you can find ways to collaborate and make decisions together more effectively. Sign 10. Disrespect. If someone repeatedly shows disrespect, it's a big warning sign. They might talk down to you, ignore your boundaries, or dismiss your opinions and feelings. It's like they're not valuing you as a person. Feeling disrespected can be hurtful and damaging to your self-esteem. It's important to address this behavior early on and set clear boundaries. If the disrespect continues, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship and consider whether it's healthy for you to stay in it. Remember, everyone deserves to be treated with respect. Sign 11. Feeling unvalued. If you constantly feel like your efforts and contributions are overlooked or disregarded, it's a sign that something might be wrong. You might find yourself putting in a lot of effort to make the other person happy, yet they don't seem to notice or acknowledge it. It's as if your feelings and efforts don't matter to them. Feeling unvalued can lead to feelings of sadness, frustration, and low self-worth. It's important to communicate your feelings with the other person and express your need for validation and appreciation. If they're unwilling to recognize your value and make changes, it might be necessary to reassess the relationship and whether it's meeting your emotional needs. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who recognizes and appreciates your worth. Remember, recognizing these signs doesn't necessarily mean the end of the relationship, but it's essential to address any concerns and communicate openly with your partner. That's all for today's video. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Psyche Up for more relationship advice and self-improvement tips. Until next time, take care and prioritize your happiness.